Quite frankly, I have a very hard time giving you my address in 2 minutes. I am not a soundbite guy, I'm a substance guy. I didn't come trained through the political realm. I came out of the private industry. My name is Norm Roche, I'm your current county commissioner, representing the District 2 at-large seat. And I know that that sounds a tad oxymoronic as a title, because it is. It's either at-large or it's District 2. Your districts 1, 2, and 3 seats, you have 7 members on the county commission. 1, 2, and 3 are at-large, meaning everyone in the county votes on that seat. There is a district designation, which is really a residency requirement, and that is in order to bring diverse perspectives and make sure that there's a balance on the board. The 4 other seats are single-member districts, meaning only those folks within those borders vote for that seat. And again, 2 minutes is not enough time to address the many, many important challenges we're facing here in Pinellas County. So I would ask you to pick up one of my cards. On the back is my website, which is votefornorm.com, V-O-T-E, the number 4, N-O-R-M.com. And on there you'll find a plethora of information on the many challenges we're facing under issues, whether it's the green light tax, whether it's the Amendment 2, whether it is EMS challenges, our budget challenges. I give some very substantive detail on my positions there, and I'll find that to be much better than trying to shove it all into a sound bite. I'm not that way. We have plenty of politicians out there that can sound bite you. What we need is leaders who will actually explain the substance of where they stand, and I will do that for you. You'll also find on there a phone number, and that is my personal cell phone number. So when you pick up and dial that, you'll get me and ask directly. And I would ask you not to pay attention to a lot of the junk mailers and the editorials and all these sort of things that are going out. I would ask you to contact someone. I'm not here. But call your candidates, every one of them, and ask them specifically where they stand on issues. Take the time. Trust me, every one of them will pick up that phone and tell you exactly where they stand. And that's how we should be picking our leaders. And I hope you'll consider giving me a second term. I'd be honored to do so. Is that good?
Good, thank you.
Absolutely for keeping these lands. The question that refers to is Crossbar and Albar Ranch. In the 70s and 80s, when our county was going through its boom of development, there was a lot of concerns about saltwater intrusion in our local wells, those being up off Keystone Road, Keller Plant as it was, because of the extra pumping and resources. So very wisely, the county commission back then purchased Albar Ranch in the mid-70s Crossbar in mid-70s, Albar in the early 80s, respectively. And it combines about 12,500 acres. They abut each other. It's about the size of Largo. We did that to make certain that Pinellas County would have a self-reliant, independent drinking water source for today and for generations to come. Some of my colleagues fancy selling that property now for some quick influx of cash and spending cash, and I'm adamantly opposed about it. I did a press conference on the courthouse steps. It's on my website under issues. I actually recorded that press conference. It would be the single largest mistake this county ever made. It would, since our beginning in 1912, Pinellas County has been very, very independent. We are self-insured, we are self-reliant. We pay our bills, and if we do this and sell this land, Pinellas County becomes a dependent county with no future. Some of our cities have recognized the value in being reliant, self-reliant on water resources, and some of our dependent cities, cities are dependent upon us to provide drinking water as a pass-through agent. So it's not just Pinellas County, it is Pinellas County and the dependent cities on us, and it is our very future. If we have no water, we are not a community. EMS, all that is secondary to the fact that if you do not have water, you have no community. So it is probably the single most important yet under-discussed issue in this particular race. You must stand up. This is owned by you. 12,500 acres owned by the citizens of this county, not 7 county commissioners, and there are a few of them that want to spend a little extra bucks. It is far too important, and I would lay it down in front of the bulldozer on that one without question at all. It is the single most important issue really we're facing now, and I know I'm probably over time, right?
Well, you've actually just gone into the second question. Are you secondly?
I don't know.
What do you think is the most important issue facing Pinellas County?
That's real hard to answer, really, because we have a lot of very big issues. Single most important, voter turnout and putting the right county commissioners in office. That is sort of the maze one, or base one, if you will. Thank you. That is, that's the single most important issue. Show up and make certain that you put the right people in office to serve you. I didn't do this for fame or fortune. Had a great career beforehand. It's been an honor to serve you the first term. If you'll have me serve the second, it'll be an honor to do that as well. But we have many. EMS, Green Light. I'm also the chair of the Public Safety Coordinating Council, where I serve on there with Sheriff Galtieri, Chief Judge McGrady, District Attorney Bernie McCabe, our state attorney rather, and our public defender. And one of the biggest challenges we're dealing with now is preparing this county for what may be the fallout, if you will, or the ramifications of Amendment 2. That is the marijuana issue, obviously. And we have been tasking that this year, studying on it. There's an awful lot of information and unintended consequences of this endeavor that is not being printed by the media at all. And in fact, I would tell you that as a sidebar, the biggest threat to this country's future is not a D or an R, it's the media. And that they pick sides, and it's a shame. But in any case, we're prepping for it. It's a constitutional amendment. We cannot stop it, but we can be proactive and deal with what we're going to see here in Pinellas County as a result. I've been talking with elected officials all over the country who are involved in this. The sheriff's been talking to law enforcement, and so on with the Chief Judge and Bernie McCabe. And again, there's a lot of unintended consequences. Number one, there is no such thing as medical marijuana. Number two, you don't write prescriptions for it because it's a Schedule I drug. And you have it's a real issue. It's fascinating because I'm not a prude. I grew up in the 70s. And yes, I smoked pot, and yes, I inhaled it. But the medical value in marijuana is the cannabinoid side. It's really, and I know I'm over, but it's a very important issue. Pay very, very close attention to this. I'd love to talk to anybody more about it because I am learning much more about it than I ever knew. And it's that important. I certainly think that if someone's terminal and want to sit in their house and eat Cheetos all day long, smoke dope, watch Springer, then I say leave them the hell alone and let them do it. But there are some adverse impacts to full-blown recreational, and that's where this is going. Make no mistake about it. This really isn't about medical. For having the forum, and thank particularly the citizens who showed up to ask questions and get involved. Again, 2 minutes is very difficult to do it. I would push you to go to, using our technology, to votefornorm.com and look into the many the sites on there or the pages on there that have a plethora, like I said, of information about where I stand on the issues and my phone number and emails and so forth. I'm the redheaded stepchild up there. I think everybody knows that. My fan club, the Times editorial board, will have had their blast with me. And that is because whether I'm protecting our families in the work that I do, or our veterans, or our taxpayers, I leave the politics to the professional politicians. As I said earlier, we got loads of them out there that want it. And I stay focused on doing the job that you elect me to do and that you pay me to do. And it's a wonderful experience, I must tell you. I love the work. That's where the gray hair and the tired eyes come from. Not from lack of sleep. I sleep with a very clear conscience. But the work, I love the work and the data. And when 7 individuals can sit at that commission seat, and it does happen, where politics isn't involved, and we have an exchange of ideas and good civil debate and discourse and come up with a solution, it's really quite rewarding. If we could eliminate the politics, the game thereof, in all of it, we would be tenfold advanced than what we are today, and I'm pretty sure that every elected official in this room would agree with that position. I'm going to go out on a limb on that. It is the game of politics. Bottom line is, if you want a politician, do not vote for me. I'm not your guy. If you want someone who's going to fall in line and nod their head in unison while millions of our tax dollars fly out the door, I am not your guy. Do not do that. Do not vote for me. I will certainly disappoint you if you want someone who's going to sit up there and just become status quo. That is not my thing. If you want someone up there who's going to apply a trust but verify approach, ask tough questions, not shy away from the tough challenges, and represent you instead of an establishment elite or an editorial elite, then I most certainly am your guy. And I would be honored to serve you a second term if you'll have me. Thank you guys very much.